And I'm Zara Baker.
And together we are In the Spirit. And we are so happy to be here tonight with you all on this cold night that you came inside to be with us is an honor. And tonight is special for us because we're going to tell you like all of our favorite stories. And we've been performing together for a long, long time. So it is just, I'm not even going to tell you about how long. But I am going to say that we are just really thankful to Greenline Performing Arts Center and the team from APL for thinking of us to be inside of this wonderful space. And we're going to start off with a story that we found. I mean, part of sometimes the story is how we found the story. And we came to this story from Zara going to see an exhibition at the DuSable Museum. And the exhibition was about the work of Lorenzo Dow Turner. And it led us to a documentary. And so we're just really happy to be able to share the story with you. Angola, Senegal, 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 Angola, in a village. Southernmost point of the continent of Africa, in a place called Sierra Leone. A little girl worked in the rice fields with her family. Mother, father, aunts, and uncles, they worked the rice fields. That land was theirs, and they worked from sunup to sundown. And one day, as they were leaving the field, something caught her eye, so she stepped away from the others, but not far. Almost as soon as she stepped away, she was captured and carried through the door of no return at Bansi Island. She was shoved into the belly of a ship. And as that ship slipped further and further away from everything, everyone that she knew, she struggled in her spirit to hold on to the sound of her sister's voice or her father's footsteps or her grandfather's laugh. She was trying to hold on. And all around her, she could hear the sounds of darkness and pain. There were people slipping away. And somehow, it was like spirit reminded her of a song. It was the song that her people sang to mark the transition of a spirit from this world to the next. And she began to sing that song.
As the willy go see how you one day, as the willy go dwell in the quiet.
She sang that song.
Welcome the morning, come by.
When she no longer knew if it was night or day, she just kept singing. When she had no idea where they were, she just kept singing. They landed finally near Harris Neck, Georgia. And she was forced to work in the rice fields. She knew rice. And as she worked in those fields, she looked up at the sun and she wondered, are my mother and my father, my sister and my brother looking at the same sun? And she began to sing that song. When she was blessed with a daughter, she named her Catherine, and she taught her the song. And when Catherine was blessed with a daughter, she named her Tauba, and she taught her the song. And when Tauba was blessed with a daughter, she named her Amelia, and she taught her the song. But the thing is, by the time that Amelia learned the song, no one remembered what it meant, and no one knew where it came from. But Amelia knew that that song was something special in her family to pass on. One day she was sitting on her porch singing it when a researcher came all the way from a place called Chicago. His name was Lorenzo Dow Turner, and he was interested in studying the connections between African languages and African American languages, and something about the sound of that song struck him, and so he asked her if he could record it, and he did. And he spent 10 years studying that song, trying to figure out where it came from, and he couldn't find a clue until one day a student came to study with him at Roosevelt University from Sierra Leone. And that student recognized one word in the song and said, I know that that song is from Sierra Leone. And so Lorenzo Dow Turner wrote about it, and the book was closed. And it might have remained closed. But 60 years later, across the ocean, at the University of Sierra Leone, a researcher named Joseph Apollo was interested in studying the connections in word patterns in African music, and he came across this recording, and he couldn't figure out where on the continent it was from. So they decided that they were going to travel with the recording. And so they went from village to village. They would play the recording on this old tape recorder and gather people around and say, does anybody recognize this song? And village after village, they said no, no, no. After months of searching, when they were about to give up, they came to a tiny village called Senahun Ngola, in the southernmost part of Sierra Leone. When they came to the center of that village and they played that song, a young woman jumped up and said, yes, I know that song. I have been told that when someone sings that song, they are connected to me. And so they had found the home of the song. But they weren't satisfied. They wanted to see if they could make a connection back across the ocean. And they found Amelia Dawley's daughter near Harrison, Georgia, whose name was Mary Moran. And she still knew the song and had taught it to her granddaughter. And so they paid for her to travel across the ocean to this tiny village. And the village welcomed her like royalty. And the one elder in the village who remembered the ceremony that was connected, the ritual of the song, of marking a spirit passing from one world to the next, he taught it to the people. And Mary Moran's daughter came together with the people of this village, and they sang that song.
Welcome my morning, come by, lily, Kwambe. Welcome my morning, come by, lily.
The grave is not yet finished. The ancestors are preparing the way. The spirits are getting ready.
Welcome my morning, come by, lily, Kwambe. Welcome my morning.
The elders said that this song was remembered because the young woman knew to hold on to it, and that we have learned as a people that we know who we are by the language that we cry in. The language we cry in. Thank you.